Hey everyone, so today is going to be a little bit of a treat. Summer is here and it is hot, and that's when I like to whip out my ice cream maker. And today I am going to show you how I make my yummy coconut lychee ice cream with a strawberry lychee syrup on top. It is amazing, it is so good, and since I already ate both of my Halo Tops, I didn't want to fork out more money for non-dairy ice cream, so I figured I'd make my own, and I figured I'd show you guys how I make them. Just a quick shout out to Lily Rose Adams. She requested that I share with you guys my coconut ice cream recipe because I mentioned it in one of my grocery hauls, and since she sends me a lot of gifs and memes on a weekly basis, I figured I owe it to her that I make this video. Alright, let's start with the ingredients. The best part about making your own ice cream is that it takes very little ingredients, and for this one I am using 2 cans of coconut milk, and I like this brand just because I can get it at Costco in bulk. Next up, you will need a can of lychee in syrup, and you can find this at any Asian market. And you're going to need sugar. Sugar substitute and honey will work, but the ratio is going to be a little bit different, so keep that in mind. And lastly, to give it that ice cream slimy viscous texture, you'll need the corn starch. It's kind of weird, I know, but trust me, it works. And then for the syrup, you're going to need 2 cups of strawberries, more or less really, but I already have these on hand, so I wanted to use it up. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is make the ice cream base before we start churning. Okay, let's start with the sugar. Most recipes will ask for half a cup of sugar, but because we are using lychee syrup in this, it's already sweet, so I'm just going to use a 1/4 cup. Honestly, you can use less if you want to. I don't think the sugar really messes with the ice cream too much. So, go ahead, taste it, feel whatever is comfortable for you and your diet, and then go along with that. And now I'm also going to dump 2 cans of the coconut milk into a pot as well. Okay, so in a separate cup, go ahead and measure out 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch, and then add a little bit of coconut milk to that to create a slurry. Otherwise, the cornstarch would not break down when you're cooking it. So do this first. Go ahead and give the cornstarch and the coconut milk a quick stir, and then go ahead and open up your can of lychee and pour in half of the liquid from that can into the cornstarch mixture. Alright, we are ready for the stove. Go ahead and put the pot right onto the stove on the medium to high heat and just cook it and keep stirring as frequently as you possibly can. Okay, so now you're going to stir for about 5 minutes. When you start to see tiny little bubbles around your coconut milk, you just want to warm it up really well, and then you're going to pour in your cornstarch mixture. And now you're just going to continue to stir. Obviously, you can walk away from the pot every now and then if you need to. And I cook this on medium to high heat. Make sure that it doesn't burn. Make sure that it doesn't boil. You just want it to be nice and simmery so that the steam kind of cooks off and it cooks down. And this can take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes depending on your stove. So what you want to achieve is this right here, where it's nice and thick and it coats the back of your spoon, and when you run your fingers right through it, it still stays parted. Okay, transfer it into another bowl and let it cool down, and then put it into the fridge so that it chills for about 2 hours. So I am using the Cuisine Art ice cream maker. I really recommend this thing. I've had it since 2016 and it just works like a champion. I already had the bowl in the freezer the night before, so it's ready for me to go, and I can just pour my mixture in there and have it ready to churn. And we're going to let this thing churn for about 30 minutes. Some things can churn for up to 45 minutes. Some things will need a little bit less. It just depends on how fluffy you want your ice cream is. But I think 35 minutes or so is pretty good for this. So while the ice cream is churning, I'm going to go ahead and take all of the lychee out of the can. I'm going to chop it up into little bite-sized pieces. Okay, so 35 minutes is up. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer the ice cream into my little Tupperware here. Just a quick note, homemade ice cream is gonna be a little bit more softer and a little bit more runny than store-bought ice cream. All you gotta do is just stick it in the freezer right after, or you can eat it as is right now, but a little bit of patience putting it in the freezer will really help. But before I pop it into the freezer, I'm going to go ahead and fold in some of the lychee chunks, and this is where you can really have fun with it. You can fold in any types of candies, chocolate bites, cookie dough. This is your ice cream. Do as you please. And I am going to stick a lid on it, and I'm going to pop it into the freezer. If you don't plan to eat this within the first week or so, put a piece of plastic wrap right on top of the ice cream to prevent freezer burn. So while that is freezing, I'm going to go ahead and whip up a simple strawberry lychee syrup. So the can of lychee earlier, we only used half of the liquid, so now we're going to use the other half. Since I have frozen strawberries, I'm just going to throw it straight into the pot. There's really no need to thaw it out because you're going to cook it down anyways. And you're going to cook on the stove on about low to medium heat for about 15 minutes, or when it reduces down. This again is kind of like up to you, you know, the longer you cook it, the thicker your syrup is gonna be. The less you cook it, the more runny your syrup's gonna be. So again, it's kind of up to you, but I say 15 minutes is pretty good. Make sure you stir because you don't want the sugar to burn. Also, I'm adding in about 1.5 tablespoons of sugar here. I felt like my strawberries were a little bit on the tart side, so I kind of want to amp it up a little bit, but you can omit the sugar completely because the lychee syrup already has a lot of sugar from the can. So yeah, that's totally up to you. I know this is kind of annoying because I'm just like, it's up to you, blah, blah, blah. But this is where I think the concept of like cooking with love and cooking up with your heart comes in. Just do what you think feels right for you, what feels right for your taste bud. And hey, you're eating it. You don't have to abide by like any other rules, you know? Okay, so once that has cooked down, go ahead and toss it into the blender and give it a quick whiz. And let it chill for about an hour or two because you don't want to pour hot syrup onto your ice cream unless you like that. That's totally okay too. And here it is, the fruits of our labor. 2 scoops of the coconut lychee ice cream with the strawberry lychee syrup drizzled on top. And I also hit it with a little bit of walnuts because, oh my goodness, walnuts, ice cream, so good. You guys, you gotta make this. Trust me, it'll make you feel like you died and went to heaven, but you're still on earth. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you like the recipe. If you are gonna make it, please tag me on my Instagram, HeyKL. If you wanna see more of these, let me know down below. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a great start to your summer. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye now.